Okay, wow, what a great kickoff. What an incredible early morning and afternoon. We're going to talk about where we're going in the future, but more importantly, what do we have to do right now to prepare for that? So before we get started, I want to understand what's your kind of perception around where we are right now. So one of my favorite movies is The Matrix. Any Matrix fans? And they're like, oh, yeah, it's going to be a great audience. Yeah, The Matrix, all right. Okay, so I got two choices for you, and you got to choose one, okay? So on my left hand, I got the blue pill. Now, the blue pill says, slow this thing way down. Social media, get these kids off of it, put them outside. We don't live in the virtual world, we live in the real world. Artificial intelligence. Stop telling me what to eat, where to go, who to date. Stop. Slow this thing down. And privacy, bring it back. I want my privacy back. Stop tracking me. That's the blue pill. Okay, then you got the red pill. Red pill is, hey man, hit your gas, put your foot down that accelerator, get this thing moving. Social media, these kids are getting a place to communicate and interact with people they would have never seen, they would never travel to. That's what we need in the world. Artificial intelligence, it's going to solve problems that we have never even thought in the realm of possibility. And privacy, hey, let's get over it. It's gone. Don't worry about it. As long as you're not doing something wrong, you're going to be just fine. Okay, we got the blue pill. Slow this thing down. Get the red pill. Hit your gas on the accelerator. All right. Who's taking the blue pill? Slow this thing down. Wow. Man, ain't a lot of blue people here. Wow. Wow. Okay. Who's taking the red pill? Wow. Normally, we get a good 50-50 split. This audience is very much into the red pill. Okay. Let's talk about what does it mean and how we got here. So we're going to talk about this term Identic AI. We're going to talk about what it means for you, and we're going to talk about what I call this call to action. So first, let me introduce you to my CTO. He's been my CTO for 8 years. He is my nephew, Malcolm, best CTO around. So I go to his house, and he says, Uncle Jojo, because he can't say Joseph very well. So he says, Uncle Jojo, we got to get ready. I got to go play. He plays soccer, but we'll say football, this part of the world. I got to go play football. I said, okay. So I run downstairs. I get in the car. He has a great game. Awesome. The next morning, he says, Uncle Jojo, I got to play soccer. I said, okay. So I go downstairs. I get in the car. I get ready to go. And I'm sitting in the car by myself for 20 minutes. Like, what's going on? What happened? I go back in the house. He said, Uncle Jojo, I told you. I got to play soccer. I got to play football. He's on his video game. You see, in his mind, he does not see that distinction. It's not about living in the physical world. It's not about living in the virtual world. It's just about living. And when you do that, when you meld these two worlds together, something magical happens. It's called data, right? Everything we do is digitized. And all this digitization has given rise to what this audience would say something good, because you guys all want that red pill, right? AI. But when you think about artificial intelligence and you think about what it means, we're talking about agentic AI. And so here, we're talking about things that do things for you. It's an agent. It's not personalized. It takes focused assistance, transactional, very transactional, right? Generic agents. Anyone can use this generic agent, right? Anyone can use it. And it's about optimizing your to-do list, getting your actions done. So that's what we are so excited about in this age of AI. But is that it? Well, What if you could be in two places at the same time? What if you could tell your wife you went shopping and actually watch the game at the same time and not get in trouble? What if you go to a board meeting and watch your kids play an event or go to that play at the same time? Wouldn't that be magical? Wouldn't that be great? Somebody said, I'm nervous about that. I'm nervous about that, right? Wouldn't that be great? Okay, this is Identic AI, right? Identic AI, it doesn't do things for you. It thinks like you. It's not a task-based extension. It is an extension of you, of your identity. It's transformational. It's a superpower. It helps you become who you want to be. It's personalized, right? And it's able to execute and refine not your to-do list, but who do you want to be list? Who am I list, right? So in the age of Agentic AI, it's not a tool, right? Identic AI is a companion. It's a partner to you. It's like going to your Facebook, social media, TikTok, whatever page you like, and all of a sudden, instead of someone writing to that page and you having to respond, that page has intelligence. It is you. It thinks of you, knows you, right? This is what it's about. This is what it means. It's proactive, it's predictive. So when you come down to ultimately what is Agentic AI, it's very helpful, very helpful. But where you're headed in the next 12 months, something that's very, very powerful. And let me give you an idea of what that means. So you're gonna wake up in the morning, it's gonna be great, right? Your Agentic AI personality is gonna welcome you and say, hey, good morning, Joseph, how are things going? You're gonna be happy, but it's gonna do something else. It knows your schedule, but more importantly, it's gonna say, hey, look, I've made some pre-decisions for you in the morning that came in last night. I've handled some minor things. I've shifted your schedule a bit. We got a dinner reservation that was canceled. I've already gone on ahead and made that reservation for you. And I know you came in late last night and you didn't get a chance to get a full workout in. So let me tell you, I'm monitoring your signs. I'm gonna give you some water. I'm gonna allow you to do a quick 20-minute workout. And then I know you got a big meeting, so we're gonna allow you to meditate, right? But that's your morning. But then you get to go to work. Okay. Now, CEO, the first thing I do, I love the job of a CEO. I get to hire people that are way smarter than me each and every day. And those people who are way smarter than me turn around and give me problems that they cannot solve. That is the life of a CEO, right? So I get to the office and it says, don't worry, I've handled all of your escalations. From your team members, I've told them exactly what they should do, how they should do it, where they should go. And now you got this big meeting. You ever been to that big meeting with you and your friend and you're going in front of a customer and your meeting, your entire presentation is built on reducing cost, right? I'm gonna show you how to reduce cost. And the first thing out of the customer's mouth is, we wanna talk about how we can increase revenue. But you know that team member, they spent all night on that presentation, right? So what are they doing? They're gonna hit those slides no matter what. We are gonna talk about how they can reduce costs. This is the difference between having IQ and EQ. But don't worry, we got you covered, right? Your Identic AI is gonna say, hey, I'm monitoring the meeting. Hey, listen, you know what, Joseph? Slow your tone down just a bit. I think an objection is coming. Here's a way you might be able to get around that objection. Here's how you shift the focus. In other words, it's gonna give everyone the insight to be able to have perception in a pretty darn good meeting. Okay. And then finally you get to go home, right? It's great. In the evening, it's outstanding. You get to go home. Before we had emails and before we had the internet, we used to actually have to recap the day. We used to have to think about what worked and what didn't work. It's gonna help you go back to that. It's gonna help you do that, right? And then it's gonna tell you everything that's so important to where you need to be. And if you're me, it knows you love that action film, so it's gonna put on some Jack Reacher and allow you to relax, right, and see the show. That's the world of Identic AI, in terms of where we're headed next 12 months, maybe even sooner. So what does it mean for you? What does it mean to you? I'm going to talk about it in two things. I'm going to give you three predictions about what I think is going to happen in the future. And then I'm going to talk about it both from an enterprise perspective and also if you're a citizen, if you're in a city. All right. Prediction number one, happiness as a service. What is he talking about? Will become a multi-trillion-dollar industry. What in the world? Joseph, AI is all about efficiency. It's all about productivity. Happiness? What are you talking about? Okay. There's this great story I like to tell. Amazing. It was a Dutch grocery store. And they said, we want to figure out how we're going to improve our experience. Great. We're going to use AI to reduce the amount of time someone checks out in a checkout stand. That's the answer. Great. No problem. So they put in these new self-checkout stands, you know them, applied some AI to it to make it easier for you to understand. How many people in the room love those checkout stands? Interesting. Not a lot of hands went up. Why is that? Well, you know what? In this place, you know what they did? They forgot who their customer was. Their customer happened to be a little bit older in age. And they didn't go to the grocery store to check out fast. What do they go to the grocery store? They wanted that checker to ask them about their grandkids, how their day was. So you know what they had to do? They created a slow checkout line. They had to use AI to help shape and inform those cashiers about who their customer was so they can engage in that conversation. This is what you're going to see more and more of. And I'll give you one of my favorite projects I'm working on right now. It's called Club 500. I'm a huge car person. I love cars because cars are one of the few assets that actually bring people together. No matter what race, what nationality, you talk about your car, everybody gets excited. It comes together. So we're creating this club, but it's very unique. It's very special. And that's because we've infused it with Identic AI. What does that mean? That means we know when people come to the club, we want them to be able to interact effortlessly. We want them to have a meaningful connection. So what we've done is every person has an Identic AI agent, private to them, custom on their phones. It interacts before they even get to the club and knows who's in the club, and it says, hey, Joseph, we've already had a conversation with Bob, and we've outlined exactly great opportunities for you and Bob to be able to connect and create new value. Would you like to have this meeting? Here's the agenda topics. It does it over and over and over again. It takes the work out of connecting so that you can focus on and understand the true experience. Now, from a city perspective, what does this mean? You're a citizen in a city. What does it mean? It means that if you're a citizen in a city, you're no longer going to move to a city simply because they govern around facts. You're going to go to cities that govern about feelings. A city that's able to understand your mental health, your emotional state. That's where you're going to be able to choose. That's how this is going to impact your city experience. Okay, let's go to prediction number 2. 90% of your business problems are going to be solved before business leaders even know they exist. How is that going to happen? It's because we model these problems in a digital world first, right? Okay, so this is a great project I'm working on as well. This is my venture company, right? So if you look at that slide, many of you may say, that's a really diverse slide, right? Oh, yeah, you got different nationalities, women, men, great. Actually, it's not that diverse. Why do I say that? Because I'm the only human on that slide. It's just actually me. And those other people are great. Bob, Rip, Owen, Tess, they're all great, but they're Identic AI personalities, all with certain elements of my skill sets infused with data and knowledge of the real world. And what we're able to do is we know what projects are coming, so we're able to understand what will come next. We know who the players are in that market. We know who the large players are. And we know what gaps they have in their portfolio that a startup could fulfill. So we're able to move from a venture capitalist model that is more speculative in nature for returns to one that drives execution as a generation of return, because we are matching a demand focus, a specific sector, a specific startup for a specific need. Okay. What about cities? What does it mean for cities? What if you're a citizen of a city? It means 1 in 5 cities are going to become cloud cities. What in the heck does that mean? That means you get to live anywhere, but you belong everywhere. If the world is digitized, that means I can contribute to the enhancement and the experience of your city no matter where I'm at. Does that exist anywhere today? Are there cities like this today? And this virtual world stuff, does that exist anywhere? What do you think? No? I'm going to say yes. How many of you ever heard of Fortnite and Roblox? How many people on that every day? 86 million. How much revenue do they make? $9 billion a year. What if you translate that to GDP? That'd be $100 billion of GDP. Where would that rank them in US cities? Top 10%. Yes, this is happening. This exists. You just don't see it that way yet. Okay. And prediction number 3, you're going to see an explosion of productivity, 5 times more productive, driven by Identic AI. All right, how's that going to affect you, right? How's that going to play out? Well, I want you to think about this. When you think about the startup world today in enterprise and business, you're all excited about how much money you raise. Well, that's going to change. It's going to be how much money you didn't have to raise. Why is that? Because the economics are changing. Time to market is dramatically changing. You're going to have the first billion-dollar company with 20 employees. Time to revenue, margins, everything's accelerating. This is a new age, a new evolution in terms of moving from an old model, which was all around betting on the come, right? I don't know how to make money yet. I'm going to figure it out. The investors will tell a great story. To now, hey, wait a minute. I'm a founder. I want my equity because I can get the revenue faster. I don't want that money. That's what you're seeing in Silicon Valley. That's the debates that are happening now. That's coming. That's coming, right? It's a different shift. And what does it mean from a public sector standpoint, from a city perspective? Each of you are going to have your own Identic AI, right? It's going to work on work, governance, finance, you're going to have your own personalized Identic AI model on these things, right? And what are you going to do with that? Accountability will get very, very personal. You see, you're not going to debate the truth anymore. Your Identic AI model is going to tell you which cities, which policies, and how they directly impact you. That is a completely different level of transparency. That is something that the world has never seen before. It's not going to be governance for the people, it's governance for you. Very individualistic, right? Very different, very individual. So we talked about these 3 predictions. Happiness as a service. We talked about 90% of business problems we solve. We talked about autonomous teammates, 5 times the productivity. But what about our call to action? What are those things that we have to do to prepare for that to be so successful? Okay, number 1, we got to make sure that we take care of Identic AI serving humanity responsibly. 7 core principles. I'm just going to cover 2 of them. The first one is transparency. If you are not transparent as to the value that you want to deliver, you will not establish trust and get access to data. No trust means no data means no value. Privacy is contextually based. It is directly proportional to the value that you receive. So you got to be open. You got to be transparent. And accountability. All right, let's not get nuts here. I always tell my team I don't look good in orange. You know why orange? I don't look good in orange? Orange is typically a universal color used for people who are incarcerated. AI can be responsible, but it will never be accountable. Humans, people, we will always be accountable. And so you can't allow a black box to ultimately determine where you're going or where you see things. And cities have to have a new trust, a completely new social contract, right? It's not about collecting data anymore. It's about them building and collecting trust. You see, they have to ensure that you control that digital identity. You control that data. Very critical. And you see that one of the more difficult questions, it's not about technology, right? It's all about human identity. What will you and you and you and you define yourself in this age of AI? You got to answer that question. So the Identic framework that we decide is something pretty simple to understand. Think of it as a trainer. Think of it as you're going to your favorite trainer, and the first thing if you go to a trainer, they're going to tell you is, what's your goals? That's identity mapping. Then they're going to say, well, let me give you a fitness test. That's your data and awareness and evolutionary adaptation. Then they're going to say, let's train you. Let me start coaching you. There's your nuanced personalization, right? Then they're going to monitor you. And then they're going to give you recommendations on how to get better and push you to be better. That's basically the Identic framework summed up, right? So those are our call to actions. 7 guiding principles. You can't just worry about collecting data. You got to build trust. And then finally, really, really fundamentally adopt that Identic AI framework. So in closing, I want to leave you with this. What is your purpose? This is a great conference. But use this conference, use it to ask that question, what is your purpose? Because we have a very unique opportunity to fundamentally change what the world has taught us to live with. I want you to pause and think about that for a minute. You have the fundamental ability to change what the world has taught us to live with. Just 10 seconds. 1, 2, a child has been born into poverty. 3, 4, 5, a child has lost their home because of a man-made incident. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. A child under 5 has just died for a 100% preventable item. You see, Identic AI is not about us doing more. It's about us becoming more passionate, becoming more caring. My friends, it's about us becoming more human. Thank you very much.